Good afternoon, everyone. If it's afternoon when you're watching this, I want to review here. I want to show you how to record audio, right? For our podcast, you're going to record an audio and you're going to then insert the audio into your slideshow. But the first step, you have to record your audio. So you've already written your script, you've already done your chart, you've already asked your questions, you know how it's going to sound, and you're ready to record. You do a search, right? I'm going to start here for search. When I insert my voice into any of the slideshows that I give you, I use this here. It's called online voice recorder. So here, if you go to online voice recorder, see if I have to move my head around. No, I'm good where I am. Okay. So I'll leave my head up there. That's fine. So you click the button to start recording. The thing I like about this is it's really simple to use. One, it's free. Two, you can talk for as long as you want. I've tested it early on in all the way back in March, and I talked just generally for a half an hour, and it kept recording. So it seems like there's really no time limit. Now that doesn't mean your podcast is going to be a half an hour long. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 2 minutes, depending on the quality of your questions and answers. But there's really no time limit, so I like that. And third thing I like, three, it saves your audio recording directly to your drive. So you don't have to do anything, you don't have to pay anything. You just do a search. It's called onlinevoicerecorder.com and bookmark it. I have it bookmarked. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to use. You click the microphone and you start talking. What I'm going to do, usually what I do is I watch the recording clock and I start talking 2 or 3 seconds in, and I'll show you why at the end. You might hear the wind and the rain. This is the last day in November that I'm recording this video, and I'm hoping the wind and the rain does not take the house away because it is really scary out there right now. Okay, now one of the things you see here, I'm pointing to the squiggly lines. You'll see every time you stop, there's a pause, there's a line. And usually at the end of a session, I will count 3 seconds again. So I'm going to end it right here. Okay. Now you're finishing and it's processing. One of the things you do have to do if you've talked for 10 minutes, if you talk for 5 minutes, however long you've talked, you want to check the sound quality. Now I'm going to do that no matter what. I'm not going to re-record it for this video, but don't post anything in the podcast where the sound quality is all garbled. So you'll want to listen to the recording before you insert it into the podcast. So we'll listen, make sure I'm not all garbled up. You might hear the rain. This is the last day that I'm recording this video, and I'm going to take that house away because it is really scary out there right now. Okay, now one of the things you see here, I'm pointing to the squiggly lines. You'll see every time you stop, there's a pause, there's a line. Usually at the end of the session, I will count 3 seconds again. So I'm going to do it right here. Okay, that is not something that I would post in any of my lessons because it's all garbled. I would re-record it. And sometimes I have to re-record something 2 or 3 times. Sometimes it's right on the first time. But for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to worry about that. Now, right, I showed you here that I've left seconds here at the beginning and end. You can edit So this here, I'm going to bring this right up to here. If I liked it, I bring it right to there. And at the end, right, it's the white line. So you bring the white line right up to the end there. And then the second beauty part of this, right? So I've recorded my podcast. It's however long it's going to be. I've checked the sound quality. The sound quality is good. I've edited the pieces. You can only edit the beginning and the end. So next piece, you hit save. This will come up. You say show in folder. It'll take a minute because excuse me, because it's right now uploading. Now it uploads directly into your drive. So here my drive is going to load, and I'm going to show you. Once you're in Drive, you need to do two things. Two things to make your life a lot easier. One is a must. The second, you'll see. It'll make things a lot easier. So I'm going to scroll. And find, it should be right after all of my files. Okay, this is an old one. So this is the one I just recorded. What you do is right click it. If you don't know how to right click, tap your mouse pad with two fingers. Come along. Okay. First thing I do, I rename it. Because if I'm looking through now, granted, it works for me because I have a lot of things I recorded. For me to find online, voicerecorder.com for MP3, I don't know what that means. I'd have to listen to everything. So I'm going to click rename, and I'm just going to call this testing pod. Second thing, right click it again, and this is a must, right? If you only have one or two audio recordings, you might not have to change the name, but you go to share with others. You must change the sharing. You must make sure that it's the proper sharing settings. Otherwise, your podcast won't play. And if your podcast doesn't play, that's going to affect your grade. So it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. You can laugh at me saying it's loading because, yes, sometimes my Samsung is slow. Here it comes. Okay. Down the bottom here, where it says change link to Google Apps for Holy Cross High School, click that. Because your original audio is private for you only. Nobody can hear it but you. If you put it in, when you insert your audio into your podcast slideshow and you haven't changed the shared settings, you're the only one that's going to be able to hear it. So anyone in this group, that means me or anybody who's a member of this group, can hear it. Done. And that's all there is to audio recording. In the next slide, I'm going to show you how to insert the video and insert a link into your slideshow, and then you'll be ready to roll.